Hi, is your child struggling in reading? Let's turn that around. Today, we're going to talk about turning that around into a joyful experience. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek into my workshop for parents that's coming up in February for the love of reading. All right, we're going to jump right in. Hope you stick around.
Welcome to Readers in the Making, the live show where we celebrate the magic of books and the joy of helping kids grow as readers. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or just someone who loves fostering a deep, lifelong love of reading, you're in the right place. Each week, I will dive into actionable tips, creative strategies, and inspiring stories to help you nurture confident, curious, and excited readers, one page at a time. I'm Trina Debry, your host and biggest cheerleader in the journey of building readers. So grab your coffee, your notebook, or maybe even your favorite book, and let's get ready to inspire the next generation of readers. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's dive in.
Hey, today we're talking about transforming reading for your child. We're going to identify what is holding them back. We're going to talk about fostering curiosity and creativity and joy into reading habits. And we're going to practice strategies for long-term reading success. And then I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into my reading workshop that's coming up in February for parents. And that's like right around the corner. So I'm very excited about that. I'm Trina Debry, and here we are with Readers in the Making. Oh, I'm having a hard time today. Today is day 26 of 26 straight days of live YouTube and Instagram. Although I'm not streaming to Instagram right now. Something has gone wrong and Instagram is not streaming. So that's super fun, but that's all right. We're going to just go with it because it's just the way it goes sometimes. All right, so let's jump in. So what is holding your child back? That is the first thing we really need to uncover. We need to know specifically what's going on. When people say general things like my child struggles in reading, or when teachers say your child's having a hard time with reading, even sometimes I used to ask teachers, well, what specifically are they having a hard time with? And they would be like, reading. I'm like, well, reading is made up of lots of different parts of it. So what part of it is hard? Because not everything is terrible. So that's the first thing. Like, what is the real issue? Do they not like it? Are they not enjoying it? Do they get frustrated? Do they not want to do it? Are they like reluctant? Are they having a hard time decoding words? Are they unable to break apart sounds and put them back together? Are they not recognizing sight words? Are they just really struggling with the words in general? Or are they able to read words, but they don't know what they're reading? They can't comprehend. They're unable to tell you anything about the story. Because remember, comprehension is the most important part of it. We want them to get something out of the text. Decoding is an element, but the comprehension is the key. So if they're just able to say words, they're not reading. They're word calling, and we want them to be reading. So are they not able to understand? Can they understand when you ask them questions? With prompting, are they able to give you responses, or is it just a complete blank slate? Or are they unable to read fluently, which means they're reading like they're speaking? Doesn't necessarily mean they're reading really fast or reading word by word. It means that they're reading like we speak, and they may even change the intonation or the sound of their voice when they get to different parts of the story. When we see an exclamation mark, we're going to be more excited. When we see quotation marks, we might change our voice to match the characters. Things like that. So what is the specific problem? That's the first thing we need to figure out. And then we need to figure out, like, what is causing that problem? Is there some kind of underlying issue? Is it because they feel a lot of pressure? Is it a lot of stress? Do they feel overwhelmed? Those are the things that we want to figure out. So starting a conversation with your child is the perfect way to help you understand where they're coming from. A conversation with your child's teacher is also very valuable. You want to know specifics though, not just they're struggling in reading. What are they struggling with in reading? There's many different areas. Okay. Next, we want to foster curiosity, creativity, and joy in reading. We want to let our kids pick books that they are excited about, that they're interested in. Yes, there are books sometimes that we are given that are on level, that are the reading workbooks that we're doing, the work we're doing around reading, which might require some decoding or some fluency work. But you can pretty much use a lot of things for fluency. You can use a lot of different books for comprehension. Decoding might be one set kind of book that they read for a short amount of time, but a lot of time is spent in books that they love, that they want to read, that they're interested in reading. And if they can't actually read some of the words, then that's when you come in. You get to actually help with that. You get to read together. You're reading some, they're reading some, excuse me, maybe you're reading the entire thing. You're wanting to build their joy and their confidence. They're able to then answer questions about the story, talk about what's happening, talk about what they learned, talk about the main thing that they've learned. Anything like that is doing that comprehension reading work. That's the most important part. All right. Another thing we can do is we can add creativity. Adding creativity to reading is very powerful, especially for reluctant readers or readers that have a hard time with some of those word aspects. Adding creativity goes a long way. Things like makerspace. I love makerspace with reading. I talk about that in some other video. Want to check it out? Go to Readers in the Making and find that one on reading with Makerspace, because Makerspace takes like problems from the story and kids think about solutions. They are brainstorming, they're designing, and then they're creating the actual thing. They're testing it, they're revising, they're reflecting, they're doing so much critical thinking, but they're also feel like they're playing, which is key. And it gives them another opportunity to move their body and think in a different way. And that can be really motivating for reluctant and struggling readers. Have you heard anything you like? Definitely make sure you hit the like button so that I know that you are interested in this content. It helps me know that, yes, this is what you want and I'm on the right track. Find it even more fascinating, want to share it with a friend, and you know someone that would need it, definitely hit that share button as well. All right, and then last but not least, set the stage for long-term success. We want to do that by creating a reading ritual, by creating reading habits, and it doesn't have to be time, suckers. It can be short little moments of reading. It can be reading in the car. It can be reading on the toilet. It can be reading at bedtime. It can be reading at brunch. It can be reading, in the afternoon. It can be anything that's just a start of it. And it doesn't even have to be very long. You can start with just 5 minutes. Can we spare 5 minutes somewhere and then start building upon that? Having a cozy place to read is very helpful. Having a specified location, like a tent or a fort or a comfy couch or a comfy chair or something where kids feel like they're cozied up. They really enjoy those like tighter spaces because it just feels like protected and safe, and it's a good feeling for all of us, but it's definitely a good feeling for kids. We want to cheer for milestones. We want to celebrate small wins, like you finished this page, you finished this chapter, you attempted these words. Ooh, you figured out what this word meant because you looked at the rest of the sentence or the rest of the paragraph. Way to go. Those are the kind of things we want to celebrate. A little encouragement goes a long way in building confidence in readers. All right, so I want to tell you really quickly about my upcoming workshop for the love of reading. It's called For the Love of Reading, Unlock the Joy of Reading and Transform Your Child's Attitude Towards Books in Just Minutes a Day. So I go more into depth with some of these strategies that I've talked about on Readers in the Making, go more into it, give you a step-by-step idea of what can do. You get a guided notes that you get to take home, a strategy that will work. Tomorrow, we will take your child from refusing to read to wanting to read to being excited to read. And I have 3 different live dates to choose from. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so inspiring, I'm hoping, and exciting. And I hope that you will think about joining me. I really feel like it is I've been working so hard on this, and it's really meant to help your child discover the joy of reading and to transform your child's attitude from books, from frustration to excitement. and build that confidence at every stage. There's also a detailed list of books by age that kids love, so that will give you a great place to start, but also asking your child is key. There's going to be a Q&A session where I'll answer specific questions that you might have about your own personal situation. It's just chocked full of strategies, chocked full of things that make kids love reading. I also talk about barriers that hurt kids as far as reading, and things that are happening that we don't realize are actually a detriment to their reading. We'll go over that. We'll talk specifically about that. Just so much to learn, so much to share. I'm very excited. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure that you are joining my Readers in the Making newsletter, and you can get that right below in the link below. And you'll get a personal invitation when this workshop is ready to go. You'll get a personal invite. So if you want to be on that list, make sure you join my newsletter. And also make sure you subscribe to this channel, and you will get more information. And together, you and I can build confident readers, joyful readers, readers in the making, one page at a time. I'll see you next time.